Welcome to 10 with Dr. T, featuring Dr. Matthew Terzella. Brought to you by Piedmont Physical Medicine and Rehabilitation.
Hi there, my name is Dr. Matthew Terzella. I'm a board-certified physician in physical medicine and rehabilitation, and welcome to this edition of 10 Minutes with Dr. T. Today we're going to be talking about a specific topic that many of you may or may not experience. I'm going to be talking about foot pain. Now, this happens to a lot of different people. If any of you have a mother like I do, I'm constantly getting asked questions about different things without any regard as to whether or not I have any expertise in them. But in terms of musculoskeletal pain and different painful things that we experience in life, I happen to have a little bit of expertise in this. My mother is an Italian-American woman who never is shy about expressing her feelings or asking her questions. She also has a rather thick New York, Long Island accent, which makes a conversation quite amusing with her. The other day I got a phone call from her, and she was talking about a variety of different things. And finally I asked her, "Mom, how are you doing?" And she said, "Well, you know, Matt, my feet are killing me. I can't do anything about it. It just hurts." So she proceeded to ask me a bunch of different questions, and this gave me the idea for this particular edition of 10 with Dr. T, and I thought it would be a good place to start, starting from the ground up, so to speak. So anyway, some of the things I want to cover today are some of the different causes of foot pain, what we can do about it, and different little tips that you could do at home to really maybe ameliorate some of the pain. And if none of these things work, you can always go to your physician and see, hey, what can I do about this? And look for any other underlying problems that may be contributing to it. It's always a tough thing to do because you really can't go anywhere without your feet. And if you can, let me know. I'd really like to know how you pulled that one off. But it is a pretty common topic, and something I see quite frequently in my practice at Piedmont Physical Medicine and Rehabilitation in South Carolina. So we'll see if we can give you some tips, and hopefully this helps you out. Well, first thing, foot pain. What is it? Well, it's any pain in the foot. That could be numbness, tingling, cramping. It could just be plain old pain. It just hurts when you take a walk or you step down or you move your foot in a certain way. One of the main causes of this can be just purely mechanical. Many of us, whether we know it or not, have sprained our ankles or sprained our feet at different points in our lives. And, being the tough-minded individuals that we are, we just say, hey, I don't know what happened here. My foot hurts for a little bit. I'm good. We move on. Speaking from personal experience, I sprained my ankle back in second grade, and I still have trouble with it. I didn't really rehabilitate it. I didn't do anything with it, and it has affected my feet. So that's one of the potential causes, a new injury, an old injury, or just an accumulation of life that we have as we, go on our journey. A second cause is what is commonly known as neuropathy. Now, there's a lot of chatter about neuropathy in the media, peripheral neuropathy, small fiber neuropathy, any types of neuropathy. Now, this particular type of pain is unique in that sometimes has numbness, has tingling, sometimes it's just cramping in the feet. Patients will say, "Oh my goodness, my feet are on fire. There's really nothing I could do about this. What do I have to do?" Then the other question is, well, what causes this? What's going on? Well, specifically, neuropathy is it's a nerve problem, whether it be the smallest fibers in the nerves or the large fiber nerves as well. Oftentimes, people with diabetes or commonly high blood sugar that's uncontrolled, that could predispose to this. Sometimes people who have blood vessel problems, such as high cholesterol, high blood pressure, these things could all contribute to the blood supply, which supplies our little nerves, which can make some of these nerves irritated and not work well. A lot of my patients will say, "How do I have numbness, but yet it hurts?" It's interesting. It's just the way the nerve is firing and reacting. So that is a very, very common problem that we see a lot of, and it's garnered a lot of attention nationally as well. The third A third piece is very simple. It kind of ties in with the mechanical and the neuropathic, but you have bad shoes. A lot of patients will come in and say, hey, my feet hurt. I look at their shoes and they're either years old, or there's no arch support, or there's no support in the back part of the ankle at all. And I look at them and say, you might want to try changing your shoes. Try something with a little more arch support. Get an insert, something that'll help make your ankles go to a more neutral position. What I mean by neutral is not swinging this way or not swinging that way, but more straight. Believe it or not, that can have an impact not just on your feet, but your back, your legs, and everything else. Sometimes these small little changes can really make a big difference. So that's what I often recommend, get some inserts and see how it works. That's, of course, after looking at them, seeing how they walk, seeing how their feet move, and the other elements of their musculoskeletal system that I have to examine. So those are the three types: the mechanical, the neuropathic, and just plain old bad shoes. These are the most common ones that I see. Are there other causes? Absolutely. But most commonly, these are what present in my practice. So what can we do about these types of things? Like I already mentioned with the mechanical pain with the ankles, very simply just do some basic exercises. Something as simple as standing on one leg for anywhere from 30 seconds to a minute. Do that each leg 3 times a day. That'll help reset some of the ankle stabilizers, and that can help a great deal. As far as other stretches and exercises you could do from a mechanical standpoint, stick your toe out with your foot pointed down and write the alphabet. Capital letters first with your ankle, then lowercase second. Do that several times a day. That can actually help you regarding your pain in your feet as well. If that fails, you could always go to your physician and take a look, get some imaging, x-rays, MRIs, ultrasounds. Look for things that could potentially be stressed or strained, and there are treatments that could be done for that. Now, as the neuropathy piece, this is what a lot of people have always asked me to talk about more. That's a little bit more complicated. There are a host of medications out there that people use for this. Those are all well and good, and they do have a large role, but they don't always work for everyone, and some of them do have a little bit of side effects. If you find one of those medications that work for you and you can tolerate it, that's really great, but it really doesn't reverse the process. Other things that you could do: massage your feet. If you have a significant other who's good at massage, they can massage them for you. Put some lotion on your feet, keep them supple. Foot rollers, foot massages, that can help as well. If you think you're a diabetic or know you're a diabetic, using compression socks. You could use some athletic compression socks. My patients have heard me tell them this before. Hey, you don't have to get the ones you have to call the fire department on to get them on and off. You could just use the ones that the basketball players wear or the football players wear, just to get some compression. This is especially true if you're on your feet a lot. This helps the blood that goes to the bottom of your feet and your legs, helps it to go back up. Because we have a pump to get there, known as our heart, but we don't have a pump to get it back. So that'll help with some of the blood return, and just by relieving some of that potential congestion down there can really, really help. Short of that, the medications, compression socks, good nutrition. That's really, really key. There are a variety of supplements out there that you could do, but fruits, vegetables, eating a good healthy diet, treating some of the underlying causes, such as if you have high cholesterol or if your blood sugar is high, that all really contributes to the overall well-being of the feet. The last one's the easiest one: shoes. If you're a runner or you're on your feet a lot, every 6 months, go get a good pair of shoes that can give you support. If you have flat, notice that your feet go like this all the time. You have flat feet when you may not have always had them. Get something with some arch support so that it kind of corrects that. That may take some getting used to. You may have to use a couple of hours every day to break them in, and then you'll build up to it. But they can be really, really beneficial. Some folks, if it's really pronounced, do need custom-made orthotics, and those will really have a beneficial effect, but they do require some time to be broken in. Okay. Well, I just wanted to give a brief overview of foot pain and what things we could do at home. So in closing, the basic tips, and these could be for anyone. doing the exercises I mentioned. If you've had an old ankle injury or an old foot injury, those can be of great benefit. The other thing, really look at your shoes. Make sure they're appropriate for you. Make sure they're comfortable, and make sure they're not too old. Look at the wear pattern on the bottom. If they're getting worn out, that's not good for your feet. And without good feet, it really impacts the rest of you up your, what we call the kinetic chain, but the old song, the hip bone connected to the knee bone, as we all know it. So that's a really important piece for your foundation. Short of all these things that you could do at home, if you're really not getting anywhere, if your feet are numb, tingly, hurting all the time, please consult your doctor. Look for other underlying causes that could potentially be affecting you here. Because, like I said, dealing with my patients is one thing, but when you have your mom asking you questions, you really have to have things in your armamentarium to satisfy her. And so when I told her all of these things, she said in her Long Island voice, "You know what, Matt, I'll try it," which was a victory for me because, even though I'm a doctor, I'm also her son, and sometimes that communication doesn't always go the way as you would hopefully hope that it would. So I was really happy about that. I spoke with her the other day, and she said to me, "Yeah, my feet are feeling better doing that." And I said, "That's really great, Mom." And I was happy that I could help her. And I'm hoping that by presenting this to all of you, that this can help you in some small way. Should you desire any more information on this, please don't hesitate to go to my website, www.piedmontpmr.com. We have plenty of information there that you could potentially look at. Don't forget to follow us and support our podcast at Piedmont PMNR and the website I just gave you. And if you wish, you can follow us, rate and review the podcast where available. So I really appreciate you taking the time to listen and to watch today. So thank you for spending the 10 minutes with Dr. T, and hope to see you and hear from you soon. Thank you very much.
Thanks for listening to 10 with Dr. T. To learn more about resolving your physical pain, visit piedmontpmr.com.